Have you ever opened your cabinets only to discover a tornado of mismatched lids and plastic containers and it's just a nightmare? Well, I also had the same problem, so we have some hacks for you, not only in how you organize your kitchen, but also when you're renovating your kitchen, things that you should consider. And while you're at it, you're gonna get a little sneak peek inside our fridge. This just is how we keep it normally organized. Try to cluster all of the things into one area that you might need. We have one shelf that's just for leftovers so that we know that's where it is. Make sure we eat it, otherwise we forget. Drinks up on top, dairy and things here, and then same down in the drawers. We keep everything as organized as we possibly can, no matter what it is. Also, when you're renovating, try and choose technology that's gonna make life a little bit easier. In here, these fridges actually have the ability to remove some of the gases that cause your fruit and your vegetables to turn faster, so your stuff actually lasts longer. We also have cameras inside the fridge, so if we're at the grocery store and we're like, oh, do we have eggs? What do we have? We can actually look from an app inside the fridge and it will show us. If you have the room and you're doing the renovation, I always recommend getting a produce fridge. It's a drawer style refrigerator, and this is where we put all of our fresh veggies, fresh fruit, stuff like that, and it just gives you a little extra space in your main fridge when you have this separate. Also, the kids have their own drawer for all of their juice boxes, yogurt pouches, things like that. So I highly recommend putting in the fridge style drawers as an addition to your fridge if you have the room for it. Also, try and find creative ways to get all the extra storage you possibly can. This is our storage container. We have, if we're doing a dinner party and we just have some stuff that we want people to take with them when they leave, these are all our temporary containers that people can take and keep. Then we have our Tupperware and the lids and everything organized. So this is the stuff that we just maintain and use ourselves. Most of the time we actually use glass containers. So day to day, this is how we set this up. So all of our containers, all of our lids, everything's totally organized. There's a secondary drawer. So if you ever find in your cabinets you've got a lot of wasted space, we just added an extra drawer and have everything divided to keep it organized. It's easier to know when and where to put things back when you have compartments for all of those things. And you could open any drawer that we have and it's the same thing. We try and keep everything totally organized. All different sizes, fully adjustable so you can use every single little space. So separation is key, making sure you have a little space for everything. I love the aesthetic, by the way, nice and clean. Drew hates the hidden drawer. He says it's a useless extra step. Why do we do that? Drew, if you can't handle this 3-second extra step for the clean aesthetic, well then you've got bigger problems. When you're organizing your space, what I usually recommend is no one knows your kitchen better than you do. How do you use the kitchen? When you're standing at the sink, where do you like things to be when you're reaching for those? Zoe is the boss in our kitchen. She's an incredible cook. So another good way to get along when you're organizing and renovating is let the person who is dominant in that space have the final say. Generally, everything is so that within one step, she can get to where she needs to go for anything that she needs. The bigger the family, the bigger the meals, the more important a good pantry is. And so I like to hide the pantry away so you don't see it, but this is our grand pantry. Now, some of you may have seen inside the pantry before, but I've never really explained why I did the storage the way I did it. So let me give you the breakdown. You have to kind of squeeze in storage in every square inch. And you'll notice the threshold coming in here left me with a different spacing on both sides. So I actually custom made these shelves to fit every square inch in here, knowing that we'd want to have all our spices somewhere. We'd want to have some of our jars for nuts and things like that. You want to break things down so that it's easy day to day, not only to get to, but also to refill. We wanted to keep the candy up and out of the reach of the kids, so we have bins for everything, and all of these can come down. All of our grains, cereals, protein powders, oils, vinegars across the back. I love easy access. Nothing is better than having these little turntables. Once you have a well-organized pantry, it is a lot easier to maintain. The reason most people's pantries turn into total chaos is because they've never set up that system. So I highly recommend baskets, having something where you can tier everything, see what you're looking at, and having the turnstiles so you can access everything. All of those things will make life a heck of a lot easier. Inside, I also like the idea of kind of being able to see what's in some of the drawers without having to open them. So I left the faces off the drawers so that you can pull them out and see whatever it is. I also love labeling everything because it makes it easier as well to know what goes back there. A couple questions I get all the time is, what if I'm overwhelmed? What if it's too much for me to tackle? You are not alone. Everybody gets overwhelmed by storage and organization. Just bite off what you can chew a little bit at a time. So for example, in your pantry, maybe you start by organizing the drawers. Make that a weekend project. Once you've got that down, you can start working on the shelves. Nothing is more important though than decluttering. Only have the stuff that you need. Set yourself up kind of like a grocery store. As you use things, replenish them. That's what grocery stores do. As people buy stuff, they replenish that. If you notice that there's something that you use a lot more of, have a little bit of a backstock with that. And I'll show you what my backstock looks like over here. I have another area here with some of our backstock of the stuff that we use a little more often. And then same in the freezer, try and keep everything all organized. I actually have a little bit of a party coming up with the kids, so we have some extra little snacks. We keep everything bagged, labeled, and sorted, and if we don't use it for a long period of time, we get rid of it. Trying to keep everything minimized and organized. I want to make sure that it's helping me maintain things easier, it's helping Zoe prepare meals easier, and nothing does that more than organization. So make sure you keep checking out these videos. I am so excited to show you what works for us. Hopefully something inspires you. Subscribe, comment below. I'll read the comments and I will answer as many questions as I possibly can. And we'll even curate new videos that you can binge that talk about all of the other things that will make life a little better at home.